Hi there, my name is Shannon Broughton. I'm with Colorado Christian University, and today I'm going to talk to you about my naturalistic observation. First, in the following, I'd like to introduce my child and also discuss the physical, cognitive, and social emotional stages that she's gone through, which include the theories of information from our text. And I'd also like to mention how the child interacts with others, and also the social and culture factors that impact the child's development. The child I observed is a 3-year-old female with a health condition that allows her to have a home care nurse come to school with her. This home care nurse also spends the time at home with her, so when she's not at school, she's also at home with her. So she's with her Monday through Friday for about 11 hours. So she knows this caretaker very well. This child lives in the city in a house with her mom, dad, and 3 siblings. Let's see, her preschool, this is her first year in school. She is 3 years old, so it's first year in preschool. The school that she attends is a preschool that is preschool through 8th grade. When I first discovered that this was also a middle school, that was they have the preschool completely separate from actually the school itself. So that was really nice to see. When I was observing what in our text, according to the Pignat theory, in our text, it says that she is in the stage of the pre-operational age period, which is 2 to 6 years old. In this stage, she's learning how to use symbols such as words and numbers and represent the aspects of the world, but relates to the world only through his or her perspectives. In other words, she sees things the way she sees things. It's hard for her to understand why someone is saying something different when she sees it a certain way, which I believe we've all been there. Even as an adult, I think we still struggle with that. But with her age, she does not see things the way others see it. So my first observation was walking to school. My first thought for this child was that she is very independent. She would not get in the stroller. It was a pretty significant walk to school, less than a mile. I would say maybe a quarter of a mile, but still a long walk for a 3-year-old, but she wanted to walk. In our text, it talks about the Erikson theory. He composed 8 stages of the psychosocial development. And since she is 3 years old, she's actually in between 2 stages. The 2 stages she's in between is the autonomy versus shame and the intentive versus the guilt. So therefore she is independent. She can make her own decisions. She even has her own doubts. She can also develop the ability to try new things and to handle failure. So my observation on the playground was also a little bit different. She was very adamant. She wanted to swing, and she was also very adamant about who pushes her on the swing. She wanted her older sister to push her on the swing. Nobody else can touch her, and if they did, she would scream and yell at them. This was another side that I had got to see from her. Very independent, knew what she wanted, and that's what she wanted. I could tell by this scenario that she may run the show when it comes to her siblings. Now, entering the classroom, the observation I saw here was, so we're all out on the playground, and the teacher opens the door, and she's inviting all of the kids to come inside. Most of the kids all go into line up and are ready to go inside. What I observed from my child in this observation is she clung to her mom. She was very clingy. She was crying. She didn't want to go inside. It was almost as if her mom knew that this was going to happen, because she walked her right up to the line, peeled her off of her, and just kind of gently pushed her inside. This brought back memory from when we were discussing the different attachment stages. As I observed this child, I would say that this was a very secure attachment. The second her mom was out of sight, out of mind, she stopped crying. She was happy. There was no problem. And then later when I observed her, when she saw her mom, she was happy again, excited to see her. In our text, it is said that 60 to 75% of American babies have a secure attachment relationship. Therefore, that means they were, as a baby, they were got that connection right away. And I also believe that this child that I'm observing had that same connection with her parents. Now, inside the classroom was your typical preschool room. Had paints, had the alphabet, had colors, had a kitchen play area. It had role play, very welcoming. And you can tell that all the students were very welcome. All the students came in, they put their backpacks away, and they immediately got in line to wash their hands. And as they were done washing their hands, they made their way to the learning rug. And this is where they all met together. They've exchanged their names. They've sang songs. You had, your few students that were not being cooperative and would play and talk, but the teacher would continue on with her teaching. And my child that I observed was very attentive. She was almost like she wanted to absorb everything that the teacher was saying. As I'm observing this classroom of preschoolers, I'm reminded of what the pigment theory explains, how children comprehend their world like little scientists, like they're wondering, what does that do? Why does that make that sound? Why does that feel that way? Why does it pour that way? It's just so interesting to see these little brains just work and want to learn more. Now, recess. Recess was really fun. So all the kids, they had to go play outside. They had different stations. They had a sandbox. They had a water table. They, of course, had the play equipment. The play equipment was very inviting, very clean, very sturdy, very approachable. But most of the kids, including my child that I observed, wanted to play at the water table or the sandbox. And it was just amazing how just pouring these different things and just the concept of it seemed so simple, yet they were so interested in it. Now, the interaction that my child had with others, that's including her classmates, her siblings, her caregivers, was different with each one. With her classmates, she was very timid, very shy. She was good about sharing. She waited her turn. It was almost as though she was reserved. Like she knew that she had to be on her best behavior. These people didn't know her well. She didn't know them well. So she was on her best behavior. With her siblings, it was very different, very comfortable. She ran the show. She was kind of bossy. She even had a temper tantrum there, which I know comes with age. With her caregiver, again, she was very attentive, very responsive, more comfortable with her than she was with her classmates, but still very respectful. Researcher has shown that the early childhood programs support later positive learning outcomes in all the domains of maintaining a focus on promotion of a healthy social emotional development. And that was from the CDE. And I noticed that a lot of these preschool programs are so good for kids later on in life. Now, the social and culture factors that influence my child that I observed, yes, she lives in the city. The city is low class to middle class. The classroom that she was in was from all different backgrounds, different cultures. She was the minority in her classroom. Some of them didn't even speak English. I believe that her biggest influence, though, was her siblings. She looks up to her siblings. They're important to her. She wants to do what they do and have what they have, and it states that in our text that people are more likely to imitate the persons that they see that are important, and you can see that her siblings are very important to her. Overall, this child seems as though she enjoys school. She loves being around her teacher. She has a good relationship with her caregiver, and she looks up to her siblings, and despite all the social and culture factors, she is thriving. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.